Some betrayals are hidden behind smiles. Some lies wear the mask of love. And sometimes it takes wisdom, not anger, to expose the truth. This is a story of love tested, loyalty questioned, and a judgment so wise it tore the veil off a secret betrayal no one saw coming. This is a wise judgment that exposed a lover's betrayal. Before we continue, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know where you're watching from in the comments below.
The village of Alyawasi slept peacefully under the glow of the moon, its red earth roads quiet, its clay houses breathing softly in the night. Crickets sang their endless songs, and the palm trees swayed like silent witnesses to the lives unfolding beneath them. In one of those houses lived Amara, a young woman whose beauty was gentle rather than loud. Her laughter did not demand attention, yet it lingered long after it faded. She was known in the village for her kindness, how she greeted elders with respect, how she shared food with strangers, how her eyes held hope even when life grew difficult. Amara was in love. His name was Kola. Kola was everything the village admired in a man: hard-working, well-spoken, and ambitious. He had strong hands from years of labor and a smile that made people trust him instantly. When he spoke about the future, his words sounded like promises already fulfilled. They had met 3 seasons ago, during the New Yam festival. Amara remembered it clearly: the drums, the dancing, the way Kola had offered her water when the sun grew harsh. That small gesture had bloomed into long walks, shared dreams, and whispered plans beneath the moonlight. "I will marry you," Kola once said, holding her hands tightly. "Even if the road is long." Amara asked softly. "I will walk it," he replied. "Even if my feet bleed." She believed him. Everyone did. But love, when tested by desire and pride, can quietly change its face. Unknown to Amara, Kola's heart had begun to wander. In the neighboring town lived Zainab, wealthy, confident, and admired. Her family owned large farmlands, and her laughter carried power. She noticed Kola's ambition and admired his hunger for success. Where Amara offered patience, Zainab offered opportunity. And Kola, without courage to choose honestly, chose both. To Amara, he remained the devoted lover. To Zainab, he became the hopeful suitor. Each promise was spoken with the same lips. Each lie was carefully dressed as truth. The turning point came on a morning that began like any other. Amara had been sent by her mother to deliver palm oil to the village market. As she walked, she overheard whispers, soft at first, then sharp enough to sting. "Is it not Kola? I heard he is preparing to marry another woman. They say the bride price discussions have already begun." Her heart skipped. She laughed nervously. "People talk," she told herself. "Love is stronger than rumors. But doubt once planted grows roots." That evening, Amara confronted Kola gently. "They are saying strange things in the village," she said. "Tell me they are lies." Kola smiled. "Too quickly. Do you not trust me?" he asked, turning the question into a shield. "I do," she replied. "That is why I ask." He embraced her, warm and familiar. "I am yours," he said. "Ignore the noise." Yet his eyes avoided hers. Days later, the village council announced an important gathering. A respected elder, Elder Adekunle, known across surrounding towns for his wisdom, had arrived to settle disputes and restore peace where confusion reigned. What no one knew was that a judgment was coming. One that would unravel hidden promises. One that would expose betrayal without raising a voice. And at the center of it all stood Amara, unaware that her love story was about to become a lesson the village would never forget. The day of the village gathering arrived with a strange stillness, as though the wind itself had paused to listen. Men and women streamed toward the open square beneath the ancient Iroko tree, the place where truths were settled and disputes laid to rest. Mats were spread on the ground, children were warned to stay quiet, and elders sat in a half-circle, their walking sticks resting across their knees like symbols of authority. At the center sat Elder Adekunle. His hair was white like cotton, his back slightly bent with age, yet his eyes were sharp, too sharp to miss the smallest tremor of guilt or fear. People said he could hear lies even when they were whispered inside the heart. Amara sat among the women, her wrapper neatly tied, her hands folded in her lap. She did not know why her chest felt heavy. She told herself she was imagining things. Still, her eyes searched the crowd until they found Kola. He stood confidently among the men, laughing softly, nodding as greetings were exchanged. If anyone were watching him closely, they would see how often his gaze drifted, first toward Amara, then away again as if pulled by invisible strings. Elder Adekunle raised his hand. Silence fell like a curtain. "I have not come because of war," he began, his voice calm and deep. "I have come because peace has been disturbed by hidden matters. And when matters are hidden too long, they rot." A murmur moved through the crowd. He continued, "There is a matter of promise and truth in this village. A matter involving hearts." Amara felt her breath hitch. Kola shifted his weight. "No names will be called," the elder said. "Not yet. Wisdom does not rush." Some people exchanged confused looks. Others leaned forward, curious. "I will ask for 2 things," Elder Adekunle went on. "First, I need 2 women who believe they are promised in marriage to the same man." A gasp rippled through the crowd. Amara's world tilted. Before she could think, a woman rose from the opposite side of the square. Tall, elegant, dressed in fine fabric. Zainab. Her chin was lifted, her eyes calm, almost proud. Whispers exploded. Amara's hands trembled. "Is there another?" the elder asked gently. The silence stretched painfully. Every eye turned. Amara felt her mother's hand squeeze her arm. Her legs felt weak, but something stronger than fear lifted her up. She stood slowly, her heart pounding loud enough to drown out the whispers. 2 women. 1 promise. Man. Kola's face drained of color. He opened his mouth, but no sound came out. Elder Adekunle studied the 2 women carefully. How Zainab stood tall and confident, how Amara stood quietly, her eyes clouded with hurt yet steady with dignity. "Good," the elder said softly. "Truth has already taken its first breath." He turned to the men. "I will now ask the man involved to step forward." Kola hesitated. Every second felt like judgment. Finally he stepped out, forcing a smile that fooled no one. "Elder," he said, bowing slightly. "This is a misunderstanding." Elder Adekunle nodded. "Most betrayals are." A low murmur of approval passed through the elders. The elder did not accuse. He did not shout. He did not shame. Instead he smiled faintly. "We will resolve this matter without anger," he said. "Because anger blinds, but wisdom opens eyes." He reached for a small wooden box beside him and opened it. Inside were 2 identical bracelets, carved from polished ebony wood. "Each of you women will take 1 bracelet," he instructed calmly. "You will wear them until tomorrow morning." Zainab frowned slightly. "And then?" "Then," the elder said, "the man who claims to love truth will make a choice." Kola's shoulders relaxed a little. "Ois, that sounded easy enough." But Elder Adekunle was not finished. "There is 1 condition," he added. "Tonight, the man will stay alone in the guest hut. He must not speak to either woman. Not with words. Not with signs. Not with messengers." The elder's gaze locked onto Kola's. "Those who deceive often rely on planning," he said. "Tonight, planning is forbidden." Kola swallowed hard. Amara accepted the bracelet with trembling fingers. It felt heavy, as if it carried more than wood. Perhaps truth, perhaps fate. Zainab slipped hers on confidently, her lips curling into a small smile. As the crowd slowly dispersed, whispers buzzed like restless bees. Amara walked home in silence. Her mother said nothing. There were no words that could soften what waited ahead. That night, Amara sat alone in her room, staring at the bracelet on her wrist. Memories flooded her mind. Kola's promises, his laughter, the future they had painted together. "Was any of it real?" she whispered. Across the village, Kola paced the floor of the guest hut, sweat beading on his forehead. For the first time there was no one to lie to. And for the first time, he realized that wisdom had already trapped him. What he did not know was that the elder's judgment had not yet begun. It would begin at dawn. Dawn crept into Alyawasi like a cautious visitor, painting the sky in pale gold and soft gray. Roosters crowed, and smoke rose gently from kitchen fires, but beneath the normal rhythm of morning lay an unusual tension. People knew something would happen. Amara barely slept. Each time she closed her eyes, memories returned. Kola's voice, his promises, the future she had trusted. When the sun finally rose, she washed her face, dressed simply, and stared once more at the ebony bracelet on her wrist. "It will speak," her mother said quietly, tying her headscarf. "Truth always does." At the same hour, Zainab sat before a polished mirror, fastening jewelry chosen carefully to impress. Her bracelet rested comfortably against her wrist. "Confidence," she murmured to herself. "That is all one needs." And Kola stood in the guest hut, exhausted, his mind racing. The night without lies had been unbearable. He had rehearsed words that now had nowhere to land. When the drum sounded, calling everyone back to the square, his heart sank. The village gathered again under the iroko tree. Elder Adekunle sat waiting, his expression calm, unreadable. "Bring the women forward," he said. Amara stepped out first, her posture straight though her heart felt fragile. Zainab followed, graceful and composed. "And the man," the elder added. Kola joined them, his face tight with forced confidence. Elder Adekunle gestured to the bracelets. These were carved from the same tree, shaped by the same hands. They look alike, but they do not respond the same way to truth. A murmur rippled through the crowd. The elder turned to Kola. "I will ask you a simple question. You will answer with one action, not words." Kola nodded slowly. "You will remove the bracelet from the wrist of the woman you intend to marry," Elder Adekunle said, "and place it on this mat." A sharp inhale escaped Amara's lips. Zainab's smile tightened. Kola hesitated. Seconds stretched. He looked at Amara. Her eyes held no accusation, only quiet pain and a deep, aching hope. He looked at Zainab. Her gaze was firm, expectant, confident in her advantage. He reached out and placed his hand on Zainab's wrist. A collective gasp echoed across the square. Amara's world shattered silently. But Elder Adekunle did not react. He only nodded. "Very well," he said. As Kola removed the bracelet, something unexpected happened. The bracelet split. A thin crack ran through the polished wood, widening until it broke cleanly in two. One piece fell to the mat. The other dropped at Zainab's feet. The crowd erupted in shock. Zainab staggered back. This means nothing," she protested. Elder Adekunle raised his hand. "Silence." He turned to Amara. "Daughter, step forward." Her legs felt heavy, but she obeyed. "Remove your bracelet," the elder instructed gently. She did. The bracelet slid easily from her wrist. Smooth, whole, untouched. Elder Adekunle lifted it for all to see. "Truth does not fracture," he said. "But lies carry pressure they cannot bear." He turned to Kola, his eyes now piercing. "You did not break the bracelet," the elder continued. "Your choice did." Kola fell to his knees. "I loved them both," he confessed, his voice shaking. "I did not want to lose either." "A man who wants everything," Elder Adekunle replied calmly, "often deserves nothing." Zainab's face burned with humiliation. The confidence that once wrapped her like silk now fell away, leaving raw anger behind. "You made me believe you were free," she snapped at Kola. "You made me compete in a lie." Amara said nothing. Tears streamed quietly down her face, but her silence carried more dignity than any speech. Elder Adekunle turned back to the crowd. "This is not the end of judgment," he said. "It is only the unveiling." He faced Kola once more. "Tomorrow," he announced, You will answer for betrayal, not with punishment, but with truth. Kola's head dropped. He finally understood. The wise judgment was not designed to humiliate him. It was designed to expose him completely. And tomorrow, there would be nowhere left to hide. The village did not sleep well that night. Doors closed softly. Conversations were whispered. Even the moon seemed distant, hidden behind thin clouds as though it did not wish to witness what truth would demand at dawn. Kola sat alone in his father's compound, staring at the ground. For the first time in his life, words refused to come to him. Every excuse he had ever used felt small and useless now. He remembered when he first noticed Zainab, not because he loved her, but because of what she represented. Comfort. Faster road to success. He had told himself it was not betrayal if his intentions were good. But good intentions do not erase broken hearts. Across the village, Amara sat with her mother, her head resting against her shoulder like a tired child. You may cry, her mother said softly. But do not let his mistake make you doubt your worth. I gave him my future, Amara whispered. And he traded it. Her mother kissed her forehead. No, he revealed it. There is a difference. Those words stayed with Amara. Meanwhile, Zainab paced angrily in her room. Shame burned hotter than heartbreak. She had never been the second choice in her life. Yet now, she realized she had not been a choice at all. She had been an escape. Morning came again. The drum called the people back, slower this time, heavier. Elder Adekunle stood before the gathered crowd, his face solemn. Yesterday exposed a lie, he said. Today will measure its weight. He turned to Kola. Speak. Tell the truth in full. Leave nothing behind. Kola stepped forward, his voice trembling. I loved Amara first, he confessed. She believed in me when I had little. But when I saw opportunity elsewhere, I became afraid of choosing honesty. A murmur of disappointment moved through the crowd. I told myself I could fix it later, he continued. That no one would get hurt. Elder Adekunle nodded slowly. But someone always does. Kola turned to Amara, tears in his eyes. I betrayed you. She met his gaze, calm now, grounded. Yes, she said quietly. But you did not break me. That single sentence echoed louder than shouting ever could. Elder Adekunle then faced Zainab. And you, daughter, what do you carry from this? She straightened. I carry the truth that wealth cannot protect the heart. I was drawn to ambition without asking where it was rooted. The elder inclined his head. Wisdom begins where pride ends. Then came the judgment. Kola, Elder Adekunle said, you will not marry either woman. Not today. Not tomorrow. A stunned silence fell. Love built on deceit must be dismantled before it can be rebuilt, if it ever should be. Kola dropped to his knees again, overwhelmed. You will spend 1 year serving this village, the elder continued. Helping, repairing, learning. Not as punishment, but as correction. The elder turned to Amara. Daughter, you are free from a future that would have wounded you slowly. Go forward without shame. Then to Zainab. And you are free to choose love without illusion. The crowd exhaled as one. This was not vengeance. This was balance. As people began to leave, Amara remained seated. Time has a way of softening pain, but it never erases truth. The year that followed Elder Adekunle's judgment changed Olyawasi in ways no one expected. Kola kept his head low and his hands busy. He repaired broken fences, helped elders on their farms, carried water for widows, and worked long hours beneath the sun. At first, shame guided his steps. Later, reflection did. He learned that love is not proven by words spoken in private, but by choices made in public. And some lessons once learned can never be unlearned. Amara, meanwhile, discovered a different kind of strength. She returned to her daily life slowly, carefully, like someone relearning how to breathe. She focused on her craft, helping her mother trade in the market, offering kindness without expectation. People noticed something new in her. She no longer waited to be chosen. Peace followed her like a shadow. One evening, as she sat beneath the same moon where promises had once been made, she realized she was no longer angry. The memory of Kola had lost its sharp edges. What you lost, her mother once told her, was not love. It was an illusion. Zainab returned to her town, quieter than before. She withdrew from noise and admiration, learning to listen rather than lead with pride. In time she learned discernment, the kind that sees beyond ambition and into intention. When the year ended, Elder Adekunle gathered the village one final time. Kola has learned, he said simply. But let this story live beyond him. He turned to the crowd. Let it be known that love tested by wisdom is stronger than love blinded by desire. Amara stood at the edge of the crowd, her face calm, her future unwritten. She had not lost love. She had gained clarity. And clarity, once gained, is never betrayal's friend. As Elder Adekunle prepared to leave the village, he called Amara aside and placed the unbroken bracelet into her palm. Keep this, he said. Not as memory, but as reminder. She nodded, tears glistening, not of sorrow but gratitude. That night, all Yawasii slept peacefully. The story of the wise judgment traveled far, passed from mouth to mouth, from parent to child, not as gossip but as warning. Because betrayal may hide in sweetness,